Bonjour.
These people do these businesses because they love what they do. They have a passion for something and they've injected it into this business. They're not doing it to, kind of make mega bucks.
Yes, everyone, welcome back to Breaking Bread, the Birmingham food podcast presented by food obsessed mates Liam and Carl. I'm Liam. Just wait for him to sip his tea.
I know, yeah. It's been there for like 5 minutes. First time I pick it up is exactly when I need to speak. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hope you've all been good. Hope you've all been eating loads around Brum. We definitely have.
Yeah, spreading that love out there.
We've got so much on. We've just been chatting about what we've got on for the next 6 weeks.
You know what? The next, up till Christmas now, the amount of, I just, me, I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. I don't see how the fuck that's going to happen before Christmas now.
Miracles, mate. Christmas miracles.
I know,
we're going to lose weight before Christmas.
It's absurd. But now we've got loads coming up, and we've done loads as well. We wrote down a list of what to talk about, and we had to cross half of it off, because we just, the whole podcast to be that otherwise.
Yeah, well, I do put all of that kind of stuff on the newsletter that comes out every 2 weeks. So the podcast comes out 2 weeks, and then the week that the podcast's not out is the newsletter, so subscribe to that.
Yep, that's all you in it, the newsletter. Some fantastic writing, so if you want to read it, have a good read.
You say that, I hate it.
Dude, it's awesome. Don't put yourself down, man. It's good writing.
I was not expecting this, so I'm a little bit lost for them kind of words.
You can't see it, he's crying now.
Talking about something amazing, passionate, and just mind-blowing. I mean, I went on the kind of friends and family night, media night.
The taster night, didn't you?
You went for a proper
I went for the full experience at Atelier.
Yeah, genius, Rob Wood.
Yeah. Oh, it's just crazy. I went and tried the full menu, not the full menu, the taster menu of up and down the country.
You wouldn't remember much if you went for the full menu.
I think you know what? Between the 2 times I've been there, I think I've tried nearly everything. Yeah. There's not much I haven't tried off this menu.
The taster menu is the one where it's like a tour of the UK.
Yeah, it used to give you a little map, and you can go from the bottom of the country all the way up to the top.
Was there a Midlands one in particular?
There was actually, yeah.
What was it?
Don't ask me what it was. I can't remember it that well. I'd have to
This is how much we prepare for these intros.
I know, yeah, you can tell I've done loads. But to be fair, I've just finished breakfast. I was on the whiskey last night, so this is about as good a content as I am
This
capable.
is good, man. This is what people expect us to live, this kind of life. Whiskey for dinner.
Yeah. Well, just a couple of whiskeys, nothing major. I did jerk chicken kebab, so for some reason in my head, after that, I'm like, yeah, whiskey goes really well after this.
I'll take your word for it, mate. So the cocktails, back to cocktails, they were good.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome. They were so good. Really impressive stuff. I'm not going to lie, we turned up, and it's very Rob, if you know, if anyone that's been to anything he does or knows him, it's very, it's 100% Rob.
In the best sense of the word, but stunning, isn't it? Everything's just...
some of the people I was with, because I was with another couple and my partner, and, the way it started... And you could see them looking at each other a bit like, this is not what I was expecting from a cocktail bar. And they looked a bit perplexed. But then the drinks started coming out, and then they were absolutely stunning. And they bowled everyone over. The people I was with, they'd never been anywhere like that. And they were both said, these are some of the best cocktails. They could have picked 3 of them as the best cocktail they've ever had in their life. It's that sort of good. And it really is. We sat there, there wasn't one bad cocktail. There was 2 that was sort of food based, which one was like a mini ice cream and one was like an apple sort of granita type thing. Absolutely amazing.
Most of Birmingham probably has tried nothing like that, unless you've been down to London or somewhere.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been to anywhere like this. It's a proper unique place.
Yeah,
really is.
Cool. I can't wait to do the podcast with Rob.
To call it a cocktail bar doesn't seem right somehow, because it's more of an experience than anything else. But you can go in there and just order cocktails, and they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's really somewhere you've got to try. It's really friendly, quite laid back, beautiful inside, and beautiful building. I've rated it super high. You got to go. And plus the menu's going to change sort of every 12 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming on the podcast at some point, so you'll hear all about this anyway.
I can't wait for that. It is going to be about 5 hours long.
It's going to be a long podcast, but I can imagine it's all going to be super interesting because the way he looks at just drink is, I don't think anyone looks at it the same way.
No, brilliant. We're lucky to have him in Birmingham, in fairness.
Yeah, we're doing really well.
Where else you been, man?
We went out the other night, didn't we?
We did. I completely forgot.
Yeah. We went to church.
Yeah.
It's back open. The people behind Tiger Bites Pig and Tierra Tacos and that have got it now. They've got their hands on the place.
They're back there, really. Back home. Back in their spiritual
home. They started, yeah.
Yeah, back in the soul food days, the church was the place. Man.
Yeah, I used to eat there a lot, to be honest.
Everyone talked about the church.
It was really good. But now it's all different. Well, the inside's pretty much the same.
Why would you change it? It's well nice.
But the back room, like, they've got a normal place with a bar menu, with just like snacks that look phenomenal.
Not normal snacks, they're like proper.
Yeah, like proper sausage rolls, or I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. It's just proper stuff, your proper cooking involved. And then at the back, there's a nice restaurant, and it's covering that middle ground that we bring up. I mean, if you listen to this podcast, I think it probably comes up in every podcast.
Well, I think two things that Birmingham misses is one, obviously, the middle ground, and that entails pubs that aren't chains selling microwave food. We just don't have any of them in the city centre,
Well, proper,
very few.
Proper gastro pubs
That's
selling really good food.
Harborne, maybe like the Plough.
Yeah, the Plough in Harborne. There's not many other pubs selling great food.
Not in the city centre. I mean, the Plough's not even city centre, so...
No, you've got the suburbs, ain't it?
No. I think the Queens, maybe. The Old Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, that's changed. And obviously Victoria, they do some good stuff as well. But there's not many. Not many. So, yeah, really good to have the church back. Yeah,
it's the restaurant at the back. Like, you sit in the restaurant at the back, it's like a completely different place, like you've never been. Because I've been to the church line, you sit in the bar, that's not far off what it was.
I quite like having a separate thing as well. Because sometimes you don't want the boozers around you, like everyone drunk, and sometimes that's all right.
But we're invited to try the food, and we give it a good go, didn't we? Tried quite a fair bit.
Yeah, 3 courses each, man. The seafood.
Thank you very much.
Not many seafood, not many places doing seafood in the city either, so that was good.
But they're doing it fresh. They're taking a big punt on the seafood, aren't they? They're really going for it. They've got good steaks, Dunwood Farm ones.
I had the seafood risotto, man. That was so good.
Yeah, I was a bit jealous when I seen that.
Yeah, see, I was worried about the prawns. I was worried about risotto, and then sometimes you get Italian food and prawns, and it's got the heads and the.
You got to dig around. I don't mind
that. If it's like a starter, if it's a starter of like king prawns and garlic butter, I don't mind that. You can rip it apart.
Even now, I don't want to dig around.
But when it's mixed in like risotto or spaghetti or something, you don't want to mess about. And then as an added bonus, it turned out they were tempura, which was like, how do you take it to another level?
You make prawns really good, I know. Deep fry them.
It was really good because it added another like texture to it as well, nice crispiness. You got the nice mussels and the scallops, unbelievable. Not the potato wrapped in batter that we're getting a chippy, proper scallops.
I thought when I got home, I was like, I had the pork belly. I was like, I should have seen if I could add the scallops to that. Because pork belly and scallops is a good mix, man. Pork and scallop is nice.
Yeah, that would have been.
But I had the beef tartare start. That was phenomenal. That was a very different beef tartare as well to what I'm used to.
I like beef tartare, but do you know what? And I know you're not watching it, so this won't get you but Jeffrey Dahmer's put me a bit off steak tartare.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Don't worry. I'm glad I had it before I started watching it.
Yeah, even you gave me a little bit to try it. It was lovely, but. I mean, nothing. This is no reflection on the church, but just after watching that, I think it's like traumatized me in some way for a little while.
But like the menus change it up. Like the menus change all the time. Like we were there, and the lady was like, that dish is different. This dish is different.
The mackerel. It was meant to be trout or something. I had mackerel instead. Mackerel was stunning with the beetroot and horseradish. Who puts horseradish with fish? Like. Have you?
I've heard of that plenty of times. Beetroot, mackerel and horseradish, that's pretty standard.
Is it? It's
a great combo though.
Have it more.
The 3 together amazing. Are awesome.
Yeah, really good. And then, pudding, can't go wrong. Tart to tan.
Oh yeah, it looked awesome.
It's just modern British pub food, isn't it? Somewhere where you want to go that's nice.
I wouldn't even say pub food, it's just British modern restaurant.
But I feel like it should be pub food. Every pub should sell food like this.
Yeah, it should just be great food. It's just, what, it's great.
Today's episode is with Joe. Brilliant, Joe. Not many people probably know Joe, but when you say Independent Birmingham,
everyone knows then. Because even like himself, he keeps in the background, doesn't he? It's not one of these like, this is independent, I am Independent Birmingham and all this stuff. Like, you've probably seen him at the festival walking around. You wouldn't know because he stands there and queues up for stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm in the queue. I'm like, dude, why are you in the queue? This is your festival. Surely, if anyone can walk straight to the front of the queues, it's yourself. But he'll go and stand at the back of the beer queue. He'd be
For
hard
him,
pushed to know.
I mean, it's all about putting in. It is literally independence first. He wants to put the light on them independent businesses. Not about him. He doesn't want to be the star of this at all. But
No, it's like he's very a background type person. But for what he does, it's phenomenal. Like
it's
the
brilliant.
impact he has.
The festival, though, mate. How good was the festival? I mean,
We had so much fun.
It's a highlight every year, but this year in particular, the sun was shining for a while, and then all of a sudden
it's still you got the rain that seems to happen every year, but yeah, mate. Well, you see me. I was on the bottle. I wasn't just on cocktails. I was on bottles of cocktails.
It was just the atmosphere as well.
Thank you,
There's
Fox and Chance for that.
kids and dogs everywhere, and everyone's like so happy, enjoying all the independent food. And
But for us, it's like a who's who. Because we walk around, like half our podcast guests are there.
yeah, all the chefs are there. And
Rather working or just there socially.
Yeah,
It's mad. Like we bumped into so many people.
yeah, lovely atmosphere, man. Just so nice, and it feels like everyone's stepped up their game. All the traders. They're all like, right, some of these people probably never been to my restaurant. I'm going to step it up now and showcase exactly what we do.
I'm going to impress them and get them in.
Yeah.
That's what it sort of is. Like it is like a festival that you can just enjoy. But for a lot of these places, it's an advertisement. It's like, this is our food. Come and try the actual restaurant.
Yeah. Adams, man. I had the Adams. Everyone's seen the picture of Adams sub roll with the crayfish.
See, I was going to call it a sandwich. I think like that would be like, I don't know if that'd be doing it a disservice, but
not everyone can afford to go to Adams and sit and have a nice meal. But you can go to the festival and get a nice taste of what they're about. Especially
you
Oyster
get you a
Club. You
feed.
probably get that in Oyster Club. But yeah. Eat Vietnam, obviously smashing it as usual.
I tell you what, there's nothing they do that's bad. Not a
OPM.
thing. The Meatopia burger that was the best thing I had all day. It was so tasty.
The cheeseburger fries.
Yeah, man.
Cheeseburger seasoning fries.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was
To be fair,
great.
I didn't eat much. I had that. What else did I eat? I think I had the Marmite wings from Eat Vietnam, which if I ever see them on anything ever,
You gotta have them.
like that's what I'm ordering.
I had the barbecue place from Terra Tacos. Had to go there.
Yeah, that looked good.
And obviously coffee from Paws, Rory and Farah.
I tell you what, they had the biggest queue all day.
Yeah.
They had a bigger queue than the beer.
They were ridiculous all day.
I turned up, I thought, I'll go and say hello. And then I seen the queue and I was like, I'll give them a minute. Then went back like an hour later and I was like, oh, fucking hell, the queue's bigger. And as we were leaving, I was like, I'll go and say goodbye before we go. And there was still a fucking queue.
Paws, Adams and Yardbirds just had a queue all day.
Yeah,
They had the pizza as
did
well.
well.
Pizza from Baked in Brick, man. That was wicked, that was.
Yeah, that was nice. I think we got like 3 or 4 pizzas.
For the kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
First thing we do is feed the kids.
Yeah.
If you go, just make sure you get food for the kids. The first thing you do. You do not want hungry kids waiting around for stuff. Just go get them pizza. Kids are pretty happy with pizza. I mean, I'm pretty happy with pizza, so.
Oh, who isn't happy with
Like,
pizza?
and the
It's just a
baked
great
in brick are awesome pizzas as well. So
Such a good day.
it's just fun. It's good fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And how good Independent Birmingham is, and the whole kind of organisation, what they do. And I always thought, it was only a few years ago when I listened to a different podcast with Joe on, I just assumed there was an office full of people. Like,
We bring this up
because of how much work they do.
You'd assume
All
there's
these
like
independents. I was like,
6 or 7 people
oh,
working.
at least. And then
Like-
you realise it's just Joe and one other person.
And his partner, yeah.
And you're like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? Fair play to him now. We've always admired Independent Birmingham. I remember getting my first card as a birthday
Yeah, I
present.
remember it and I was like, wow, wicked, you've got a card. Let's go out for dinner.
Yeah. Just always loved what he does and how he shines a light on independence.
Yeah, he does, he really does.
From day one, we've wanted him on the podcast and we finally got it sorted. It took a little while to kind of get sorted. So.
Yeah, gonna have to
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Because we know why, because he's so bleeding busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand why.
Yeah.
But it did take a lot of work to get a date down and
We're very
organise
lucky
it.
to get an hour with him, like, really lucky.
I don't even know. I don't know how he had that much time, to be honest.
Because this was
Such
done
a
before the
busy man.
festival as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we
this
recorded-
was a few weeks before.
Absolutely loved the festival. Loved talking to Joe. Hope you really enjoyed this episode. We talk loads about all the independence and hear the story about how he got started, some plans for the future. Just hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like, subscribe on whatever app you are listening to. We will really appreciate it. It's and you, and love it forever. Love you
Yes,
forever.
we love you all.
Joe, Independent Birmingham. How you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you guys?
Yeah, good.
Great.
Do people think that's your second name, Independent Birmingham?
They do.
So-
No one,
Independent
yeah, no one can pronounce my second name, so it's Independent Birmingham's easier for everyone.
How's things?
Yeah, really good. Intense, busy, but rewarding, awesome. It's great to finally sit down with you guys. I know it's been difficult trying to work out schedules and things like that, but no, it's good. Yeah.
Well, you're a busy guy. The festival's coming up soon.
Yes, the festival, less than 4 weeks to go. It's shaping up really amazingly. We've got the best food and drink lineup I think that I've ever seen for an event in Birmingham before. Some really incredible independents. Then we've got an outdoor artisan market with 14 market stall traders. Live music across the weekend on our main stage, curated by Hare and Hound. So it's really kind of awesome bands. And yeah, it's just a really wholesome day or weekend at Aston Hall with your friends and family and loved ones. And yeah, just getting to kind of eat amazing food, drink amazing drinks, rock out to live music. And, there's like between 50 and 60 different independents are kind of supported through the event. And it's just really amazing to gather thousands of like-minded people together for this weekend. And we only do one event a year, and we try and like really make it as special as possible and just make it really fun and inclusive, and just a kind of really nice crowd of people just wanting to kind of support local and have a great time.
We will get back onto the festival. Obviously this will probably be going out just a little bit after, but it's all good. Doesn't matter. We'll kind of start at the beginning where we always start.
Yeah.
How did Independent come about?
I went to university in Liverpool, and I loved going out in all the kind of like independent bars and pubs and things like that. And that there were dedicated areas there, like you go down Bold Street and there's like a bunch of them and things. And that's just what my friends and I like to do. And I came back to Birmingham after my 3 years there, and it was kind of like, I don't know a single independent in this city. And I was like, and if I'm passionate about this, surely there are other people out there who are just as passionate, who also don't know about these places, don't really know where to start looking for them. Because this was almost 10 years ago when I first started. And yeah, at the time the independents were really like few and far between. They're really tucked out the way down side streets off the beaten path. And I started it just as a way to shine a light on these businesses and go, yeah, they're special, they're awesome, this is what Birmingham has to offer. And if you don't want to kind of go to these generic chain places, maybe you should try these other places instead. Like, it was just laughable and like really like basic and embarrassing at the start. Like I had like a weird website with a cupcake on the top, and it was pink, and it was just really poor. And then I kind of I just went out and I just found these places, and I just kind of sat up my laptop like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and just kind of made people care, I guess. It took about a year and a half for it to get traction. My background wasn't social media. It wasn't writing articles or anything like that. It wasn't PR. I just kind of taught myself how like these necessary tools that I needed to promote the business. But I always knew that I wanted to make the website, which would have like profiles of the independents so people could search through a directory and database, and it would be like a really useful tool for people. So irregardless of any other element of the business, I wanted as comprehensive as possible directory so that people could look through it and go, oh, I fancy like some dinner tonight, where can I go? Or like, oh, I want to go to like a bakery, or like, kind of vintage clothes shop and things. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to introduce the Independent Birmingham membership card, which it was back then. It was a physical card, a small kind of credit card sized piece of artwork for your pocket, I guess, because we had people like Brum create the images and things. We had different artists for each year create the image on the back, and they were really cool. And the whole kind of point was to get people, out of their houses, off their sofas, and into the businesses and things like that. So not only was Independent Birmingham supporting, kind of businesses on social media and online and kind of shouting about them and bringing them to people's attention, but through the incentive of like the discount or deal, which all businesses basically offer discounts or deals in-house, whether it's like a happy hour or like a Sunday session or this or that. But what this is we we get them and we kind of host them on our external platform. So it brings like their deal to the attention of our audience through our app and through our website. And it's just all about getting people into these independents, supporting local, supporting, kind of Birmingham's, kind of independent scene and things. And yeah, it started gaining momentum from there.
Was there many independents at the beginning, or?
There were 21 who initially signed up. A few were quite skeptical at the beginning because like discount cards aren't a novel concept, but it was quite a novel concept in that it was solely for Birmingham, solely for independents. So it was quite niche in that regard. So it took some convincing for people, but as soon as you started getting more independents involved, they saw the quality of the independents who were already on it and they went, I want to be part of that. And then people were like, oh wow, you can go to this place and get 2-for-1 cocktails or like 2-for-1 pizzas or free pina colada and things like that. And kind of more people started buying the cards. And
was there one independent in particular who broke the kind of dam?
Yes, they're not on it anymore because they changed ownership after the pandemic. But the Electric, they were the one. They offered 2-for-1 cinema tickets. And that was the kind of
It's a bargain.
yeah, that was it. That was the catalyst, and that's kind of and then the Plough came on, who was still on there, and that kind of snowballed from there. But kind of had the IB card for 5 years, I think. Yeah, and we kind of like shifted like 50,000 of them. So like, there's a lot of people out there with it supporting local, and through IB we've kind of encouraged like countless thousands of people to kind of get out there and support businesses and spend money in these businesses. And a lot of people actually just look on the website or look on the app. They don't actually like kind of have membership, but they go to these places anyway because they've discovered it through IB. It's hard to quantify, but that's why I always wanted to make the Independent Birmingham app free to use. Like obviously you have to sign up and pay to be a member and get the discounts and deals, but the directory side is free because I want people to go through it and be like, oh yeah, this place is cool, I fancy going here. And to me it doesn't matter if they like kind of pay the membership fee and get the discount or deal or whatever. If they just want to go there and they've kind of discovered it through IB, then yeah, that's wonderful. It's all about supporting the city and Birmingham's independent scene and things like that, and kind of getting people excited about all of these amazing independents that we love. So
what is it about independents in particular that you think is so special?
There's just something about them, like you can tell that they've just poured their like hearts and souls into it, and they're always just like so individual and just different. Like you can just tell, like if you just go into a chain and it's just like you could be in any city across the UK or anything like that, but if you go into an independent, like they're quirky, they're different, but also the high quality. A lot of stuff with chains is like either cooked in like a central kitchen and shipped out or this or that, but the people who run the independents like pour everything into it. And like kind of misconception is that going to an independent means that it's going to be more expensive, but it's not often the case, to be honest. It's just better quality. You have a better time, kind of surrounded by like-minded individuals, and they just make the area so special. Like we were talking about Sturchley before the start, and how many incredible independents are opening there, and that's attracting more people, and then more people are wanting to live in Sturchley because there's so many incredible independents there. So it's just a thing. Like they're just awesome, and it's hard to kind of describe.
And let's talk about how that can often be a vicious cycle there, because the area gets popular, prices go up. There's only certain people can go and live there then.
Yeah.
And then obviously it becomes on the radar of Costa and Pizza Express.
Yeah.
It puts them on the radar then, because it happened with Moseley. Loads of stuff started in there. That used to be a great little independence place.
That's the trouble. And like the independents lead and then the chains follow. That's always been an issue. You see like trends that are kind of started by independents that the chains then try and pick up and capitalize on, and they've got the bigger ad spend and the bigger audiences and things, and they often like bastardize a product to their own ends, and you're like, that's sneaky, like that's not awesome. And it is obviously frustrating, but it's just kind of a byproduct of the kind of popularity of the independents. But I think that now, especially after the pandemic, there is such a kind of uplift in support and love for independents, and so many people seek out independents to support local rather than go to a chain, that whilst chains do try to cash in on an area becoming cool, and like companies from London or Manchester or Liverpool or Leeds try to like come into the city and open somewhere because they're like, oh, this place is popular, like we'll cash in as well. I think that people do kind of have a sense of that and do try to kind of support local homegrown businesses. Obviously, if somewhere's high quality and it comes in and it's awesome, fair play if it's like an independent company and things like that. But it's just kind of a sad byproduct of, like you say, independents kind of making an area awesome and then chains kind of trying to cash in. But
it does hurting. Like, we live in Shirley, and I'll go into Bora and get a coffee, which is a great coffee shop. And then there'll be people over the road in Costa, and I'm just thinking, why are you in Costa? Like, you clearly live in Shirley. Why are you in? It doesn't make any sense to me.
As much as like independence at the forefront of people's minds more than ever now, it's still more of a niche concept than Costa. Like, all of those chains are just so kind of ingrained in society now because people are watching TV and they're seeing the ads. Like, they're getting blasted with ads on like social media from like all the chains. Are so well known that a lot of the time people who potentially don't think to seek out independence or just want a kind of quick and easy option just immediately fall back into a comfort zone rather than going, oh, this place looks interesting, I'm gonna go try it, and then going, wow, holy shit, that's incredible, that's my new favorite coffee shop or my new favorite bar and things. So like I said, post-pandemic, the uplift in support for independence has been like really fantastic, and this is kind of so prevalent now, but it still is like, more of a niche concept than people going into Nando's and tragic places like that.
Yeah. How does it work? Do you just go up to these people, or they come to you to join Independent Birmingham?
Initially, I went round and kind of talked to independents and said this was Independent Birmingham all about. But in all fairness, we have I get inundated daily. It's quite overwhelming. Thousands of kind of notifications, hundreds of DMs, so many emails. I try to get back to people as quickly as possible, but the admin side is very overwhelming when trying to like run the business as well. But I get a lot of people emailing all the time asking to join and things like that, which kind of makes things easier because I don't have to then like kind of cold email people and things. But there's over 170 independents on the Independent Birmingham app now, which is great. And I keep adding more and more and more because I want to make it the most comprehensive database of independents in Birmingham possible. I have a new app developer, which is great because the last one went AWOL and I haven't been able to make any updates whatsoever to the app for well over a year now. And it's been giving me some sleepless nights thinking that everything's going to kind of crash overnight, but it's kind of held together. And we have the new app developers based in JQ who have a background in e-commerce, so it's a really kind of great relationship. And we're hopefully going to introduce a load of new features like gifting of membership, which was something that was like really great when we had the physical card, and it was like loads of people bought cards for like Christmas presents for loved ones, and like universities and offices bought like loads for their like kind of staff and students and things like that. But we couldn't quite reconcile that with the app, but we're working on that now, and we're trying to make that possible, and we're hopefully going to roll that out later this year because that's something I get asked about almost daily.
That's the first I first had my first independent card through birthday present.
Given the gift of local. That's great. It. No, it's lovely. I kind of miss the cards. Like, there's that sense of nostalgia, but the app is a much better and more complete product, and especially when we kind of have these new features that we're planning to introduce, it's kind of hopefully going to make it a really like essential lifestyle product for people who live and work in Birmingham. And I just want it to be as kind of a complete end-to-end user experience as possible, so that anyone who has any mild interest in discovering independence, like there might be hardcore fans like you guys and kind of they're in the know, or they might be just kind of dipping their toes in and go, oh yeah, we want to start like supporting local instead of these chains, like where to begin. And I just want to create like such a kind of comprehensive and awesome database as possible, and kind of take it from there, I guess. And obviously the incentive of the discounts and deals is kind of what helps drive people into the independents, because there's some really great ones. Like I say, you can get kind of free pina coladas, free coffees, and £5 off your menu, or like £10 off, and things like that. There's like a load of different discounts, and all unique to each venue and things like that. And it's all just kind of designed to encourage people to get out there and support the local economy and these independents.
Is it the venue that come up with what discount they're going to offer?
We work on it together because we kind of know what what works and what our audience likes and things. And there's no point someone kind of just offering basically a token offer just to get on there if then no one ends up using it, if you know what I mean. So we work together to kind of create the offer that we think will encourage as many people as possible to go out and use it. We're trying to focus on just like, kind of getting as many like kind of amazing businesses on there as possible with some like great offers and things. And just during a time when, people are struggling, just try and get as many people going out as possible. And hopefully it enables more people to go out. If, there's the incentive of a discount or deal, they might have been like, oh, actually, we can't go out this month, but it might incentivize them to go out and spend money in their local businesses and things. So it's quite a mutually beneficial system that we have with the independents. And obviously then we have the social media pages and the website and the newsletter that we kind of use to champion them. And we have, I think it's over 160,000 followers across Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We get about 2.5 million reach per month and things. So like it's a decent kind of reach and following and engagement we have and things.
It'd
And
be
we
a massive struggle for some of them small independents to try and build that, because it's very time. Social media, I know people think it looks easy, but it's not. Trying to build it is so hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. And like, especially if your background is not in social media, and personally I don't enjoy doing social media, but it's one of the most integral parts of my business. So I kind of every evening I'm on there kind of doing it and things, and during the day and stuff I kind of live on there. And you see the good and the bad in people. Certain platforms are worse than others, but yeah, it is a full-time job. I think people think like, oh, it's just putting out a post, but no, it is very full on. It is a full-time job. And when you're trying to do that alongside, you've got all the admin, you're trying to add places, you're trying to run festivals, you're trying to build this app and things. It is very intense, and it is intense, like 75, 80-hour weeks every week. But, it's rewarding. And like I said, we've encouraged so many thousands of people to kind of visit independents across the years. And we have loads of people who have set up similar platforms across the UK and across the Midlands and things, because they've come to us and said, oh, we've been inspired by IB, like we want to set one up in our town and things. And so I've seen quite a few of them out and about, some local, some further away and things. And yeah, it's been challenging, but it's been a rewarding 9 years so far. So
Is it just the 2 years? Or?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So
that's a lot.
See, I always assumed there was this like big office and team of people
know,
doing all
yeah.
this stuff.
It does feel like that sometimes.
People ask for like the finance department and just kind of sat at the kitchen.
Do you do a fake beep? Beep.
Just sat at the kitchen table in my
please.
dressing gown and just like, yeah, that's not as professional as you think it is. But no, that's the thing. And I kind of, from the beginning, I didn't plaster my face on it. I didn't go like, this is me. I kind of was like, this is the brand. This is Independent Birmingham. This is what it stands for. And so I think, people can be forgiven for thinking that's a giant like company with loads of people behind it. And there are similar companies who have loads of people behind them. And I wish we had loads of people, but we haven't had any outside investment or anything like that. It's been operating on the shoestring for this whole time, and we're just kind of, we've been doing it for the love and the passion. And
is that for sure? Surely you've had people come and say like, "Oh, let us invest in this." And
I have people asking to buy it a lot. Like not every week, but there's been a fair few and stuff, especially recently. But
depending on the week, it's
it depends. I'm like, God, it's been a
some
tough
weeks.
week. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Other weeks, get away.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I would never want to pass it on unless I knew someone's going to continue the legacy of it and like make it bigger and better. There's no point someone taking it over and just kind of like it kind of petering out. If someone takes it over and they kind of make it even more awesome and they've got a massive team behind it and it's it's really incredible, then I can live with that. But yeah, I just kind of like, I'm just like, no thanks.
It sort of keeps that independent vibe still going because it's ran independently as well.
Exactly,
So.
that's the thing. And yeah, it's tough, but like I said, it is rewarding. And yeah, we're kind of more engaged than ever now, and more people are wanting to like discover independence. More people are downloading the app. More people are visiting the independence as a result. And like I said, not everyone uses the membership side of the app. A lot of people just use the free directory and kind of go out and discover places because of that, or through our social media, or like our newsletter, because we talk about new openings quite a lot on our social media, as well as kind of championing and shining a light on the old favorites as well, the old guard, because it's not all about the new places and things like.
No, it's be easy to forget some of the people that have been doing it the longest.
Exactly, yeah. And especially in this current climate where it's really tough for independents, it's kind of good to kind of remind people that like the stalwarts are still there, and they need your support as much as kind of the new and exciting newcomers to the city and things. But yeah, it's I've aged. Definitely aged.
You said earlier, like you're inundated with emails for people who want to join the card. How do you vet them, or how do you decide, like, yeah, well, you can come on board, but sorry, mate, you can't?
It's really tough, to be honest. Like, a lot of it kind of depends on whether they are independents, the first criteria, because you do have some people come and go, oh, can we join in? And you're like, Starbucks, man. No. And things. So, like, we kind of cut it through that. But, I mean, like, I have a list of about 40 of 50 independents who are currently, like, interested in joining, and then like, another list of possibilities and stuff. So, like, it just takes a while, basically. I kind of, like, vet them for quality and things like that. And, like, you kind of know people who've been there, or you've been there yourself and things. And, like, or they have other businesses and things like that. But basically, like, yeah, if they're just independent and they're awesome, then yeah, and we can kind of work out a discount or deal that kind of suits the app and things like that, then yeah, we kind of go ahead. But it does take a while to kind of work out these things, and then do the write-ups, and then kind of get the social media going and the newsletter and things like that. So it's not instantaneous. And when you've got such a long list and you tell people like, oh yeah, we'll come back to you, but there's like about like 30-40 places currently all going, we want to join imminently, they kind of come back to you next week and like, can we join now? And it's like, sorry, it's still just tiny team, like we're trying to do it as quickly as possible. Currently we only have certain areas on the app. We haven't been able to add any new areas because we haven't been able to do anything to the app, sadly, but we're looking to kind of expand to encompass a few more areas in Birmingham and things like that as well, now that we're adding new features. But every time we add a new area, it just adds, like, the workload just kind of increases like exponentially and things. So it's kind of, we have to really go like, are there enough like high quality independents in this area to kind of make it possible to go to this area and like add it to the app? Because I like to have hubs. I like to have it where someone can go with their app and use it in a number of independents in like that area, so it's kind of, they're not like scattered about and things like that. Because I always kind of thought, if there's one like over here and there's one like kind of 20 miles or whatever in this direction, or 20 miles might be a bit much. I'm not too great on my geography, but yeah, I always like to create hubs and things like that, and like pockets where people can kind of go to King's Heath and stuff like that. And there's loads on there in King's Heath and JQ and Digbirth. And so yeah, I mean, I always just say, just be patient with me. I'm trying really hard and things.
Tricky question for you. How do you define a chain or an independent? An independent.
Yeah, it is tough. It is a grey area, because there are independent companies who have like a number of venues, and they have a number of venues across the UK, but they still class themselves as an independent company. I always said that I would kind of define it as having fewer than 3 different branches of the same independent was kind of it, but kind of originating from Birmingham. But then there were places who had like one in Bristol, and then they came and had one in Birmingham, and I was like, but they're independent as well, and things. So I try and stick to that. But then you can't be punitive if someone then opens a 4th branch because they're popular and successful, and then you can't go, you're not independent anymore, because they still are independent. Yeah. So I tried to stick to that criteria. It is a grey area, and it's a really tough question to ask and things like that. And some people might not agree with the way I kind of define it, but yeah, that's kind of how I've always looked at it. And if someone is on there and they kind of have 3 different branches of the same independent, and then they open like another one, and I can't then turn around and go.
It's so funny. Yeah, we've had this debate loads and loads.
The Shum always throws me off, because like they're such independent spirited, and Shamel just like guru type, like legend, and then everything they do is quality, and there's only a few of them. But
where's the cut off? 10,
where's the
20, 30 plays. There must be a cut-off point somewhere. We've
Yeah.
had this debate loads. We can't get an answer.
I don't tend to add independents to the app who are companies based outside of Birmingham who have like 3 or more businesses outside of Birmingham and then come in. So say like Crazy Pedro's and like it's mega popular and stuff, and I'm sure if they came on the app a lot of people would use the deal and things, and more people would download it and kind of sign up for memberships and stuff. But they have a few up north and things already, and they've come into the custard factory, so they're kind of like a business that I wouldn't consider just because of that. It's not kind of saying anything about their quality or anything like that, or whether just anything like that. It's more just the fact that that's kind of how I've always tried to base it, and I've tried to keep it kind of as fair as possible in that regard. And I'm sure I've annoyed people over the years, but working on the internet, you get a thick skin. Like I just kind of, you just have to shrug it off sometimes. You can't please everyone. Like sadly, you can't please everyone, and you can work really, really hard and pour everything into it and work some insane hours, and someone will always say what you're doing is shit, or you should be talking about this area more, or doing this or this, or you shouldn't include them, or you should include them, or what about me and stuff. And it's kind of, it's tough. And I understand, like, businesses are, they're trying to thrive and stuff like that, and people are looking out for their business and stuff, but I also have to look out for my business that I've built over the last 9 years and be protective of the brand that I've created. And a lot of people are very protective over the brand themselves, and they have a certain idea of what they think Independent Birmingham is, and they're kind of very protective over that. So I don't want to kind of start randomly adding in a bunch of places that people might not kind of agree are independent, and kind of take the integrity away of what I've kind of stood behind, of what I've tried to create.
Yeah, completely.
So yeah, that's tough, but that was.
How do you cope with like the kind of online shit? Like, is there anything you've learned over time to do? Or?
I mean, like I've always been the kind of person who doesn't really care that much what people like say or think about me. Like obviously with like my loved ones and stuff like that, that's different, and I care. But like I said, you're never going to please everyone, and it is frustrating how much kind of hate you see online, and sometimes you basically see people like bullying other people, and you want to say something, but then you kind of worried about the getting trolled yourself, or the backlash or things like that. And that's what kind of like upsets me the most, when I see people like kind of trolling other people, or like basically online bullying other people. And I kind of really want to say something, because that's where I don't like sitting back and like kind of witnessing that. Like I can take it myself. Like I've just over the years I've had all sorts and stuff. There haven't been like a huge amount of trolls and things, but it's social media. So like you'll put something out on Twitter and someone will just instantly, who's not following you, or just do some spam comment or some like shit comment that's like, and you're like, this is so irrelevant to like what I've just posted. Like, why?
I think half the time it's just to do it as well. They've got no
it
opinion
is,
on
yeah.
it. It's just to do it.
Yeah, it is. And like, so I've always kind of just not engaged trolls really. Like they want the attention, they want the platform, and yeah, I just kind of like, it sounds really like, yeah, it sounds like kind of offhand, but just too busy to care. Like I'm honestly, like it's just so kind of full on and busy all the time that I'm just like, I just don't have time for beefs. I don't have time for trolls. Like if someone has beef with me, like fine. Like, but I've always tried to be like as nice a person as possible. They say like nice people can't succeed in business, and I'm really trying to kind of buck the trend with that, because I just try and be as kind as possible. And like I genuinely just, I want people to succeed, and I want people to do well, and I'm just like, it makes me happy when I see someone like doing well. Like the Buddha Belly gang opening their own restaurant in Sturchley is so wholesome. It's so awesome, because I'm just like, they're really nice and lovely people. I genuinely just like the kindest people, and it's just so nice to see them succeed and do well. And like that's it. I've tried to be like, just be as kind as possible and as nice as possible. Obviously, like I hope that people are the same to me. Yeah, not everyone is, but the majority of people are nice, and I don't get too many trolls now or anything. But the internet's just a dark place, isn't it? It's a bit of a cesspit if we're being honest.
You do the right thing, just ignore them. It's best, because that's what they want, is reaction, and it's unfortunate that anyone that builds something really good and builds a good following from it, that you're just going to attract trolls. It's just the nature of the game.
And you're going to split opinion as well. And like, I understand that. And I understand people have their own opinions. And if they think IB is shit, fair enough. But like, you don't have to like comment on stuff and go like, oh, this place is shit, or like, or this or that. Like, if I ever see something that I scroll past, I'm just like, oh, this is not the best or whatever. I don't say anything. I don't like comment on them or like try and slam a business or like a person or whatever. Like, and I just kind of think that people just don't have that mindset. I think people just feel that they just have an opinion and the internet has to know their opinion and they have to put it out there. It sounds like, like a parent, but if you have something nice to say, just don't say it. Just let people get on with their lives and try and like, make the best of this world. Like with all the cost of living stuff and the electricity crisis and all sorts going on, like, it's a bit of a dark place right now. So just try and be nice, try and kind of, stop spreading the hate and just realize everyone's just trying to do their best. And, everyone's just people. Like, everyone has their issues and you never know what someone's going through. And you might think you're doing some harmless trolling, but, that might be the kind of catalyst that, kind of really upsets someone and pushes them over the edge. So, be nice people.
That's good advice.
I mean, I don't want to get too negative, but also we just can't ignore the fact that the cost of living crisis is like...
It's insane.
I mean, it's scary. Like,
it's really scary, yeah.
Have you been speaking to lots of independents and how they're feeling?
Yeah, I've spoken to quite a few, and it is really scary, and it's like, it's just gone bonk. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's so kind of worrisome. Like, you kind of think that so many like incredible places are going to be forced to close because you're seeing like their energy bills like quadruple after like a month, and then they go up again, and it's like, it's so ridiculously unsustainable, and like someone has to step in and just like somehow put an end to it. Like, I'm not the person to ask how that's done. Like, it's not my area.
It's beyond all of us though.
Yeah.
There's nothing any of us can do. I mean, we can all get out and try and support independence as much as we can. We can be there for our friends in the industry, but ultimately there's only the government who can sort this.
And that's the thing, and like, that's like kind of what we touched upon, and we kind of put this message out the other day that, we understand that, people are struggling to pay the bills, buy food and kind of things like that. And with winter coming, people are going to be struggling to heat their homes and things like that. And the energy crisis is crazy. So we understand that for many people, they can't get out there and support local right now. But for those who can and they're able to, now more than ever, this is when the independents need your support and your help, because if you cherish your favorite independents, kind of get out there and get supporting, because they might not be here in a few months, sadly, because it becomes unviable for them to operate.
Even them ones where you're thinking, it's all right, they're busy every weekend. That's not enough. It's not enough that they're busy every weekend.
Because the margins are so small. That's what people don't kind of really understand, that these people do these businesses because they love what they do. They have a passion for something and they've injected it into this business. They're not doing it to, kind of make mega bucks, and they're not like the kind of Nando's or like whatever with all these like branches and things like that, just raking in the dough. They're like a small, tight-knit business which, kind of operates on a shoestring, and like stuff like the energy bills quadrupling, that is a massive thing that can seriously impact businesses. And that's a scary thing that can cause a lot of places, like really fantastic places, to close because it just suddenly becomes overnight, kind of not economically viable for them to exist anymore.
I mean, that tweet from Farah, that hit hard. That did. I was like, fucking hell.
I know, that's the thing.
That's an awesome business. Who, I mean, I sat there the day it opened, and it was like, and Farah's like, we should have moved to King's a long time ago.
Yeah.
They were rammed, and they're always rammed, and it's doing really, really well. And they've actually sat down and had a meeting to talk about at what point do we have to close the doors, and that's just heartbreaking. Like,
that's the thing. Like,
and as you go back to like, they do it out of love. I mean, Farah's like a trained lawyer. she could probably be making mega bucks as a lawyer, but she doesn't want to. She's in love with what she's doing there, and
that's the thing. Yeah. Farah and Rory are really, really lovely, genuinely like really kind people, and it's hard to kind of hear these stories and things, and they're not alone. That's a scary thing. And I mean, hopefully someone's paying attention. I mean, like, you'd hope the government knows that this is an imminent issue that needs dealing with. But at this stage, you just you don't really know what's going through their minds and things. But yeah, it's really disheartening to hear, and like, yeah, especially with like just genuinely like really lovely people who have worked like really hard, and like you said, they smash it in King's Heath. They're amazing. It's such a great business for King's Heath that attracts other businesses to King's Heath, and then makes more people want to live there, make it more awesome. And like, it's just, yeah, they're perfect for it, and yeah, they're amazing people. And like, and then this happens, and like they've just kind of, yeah, like you said, they've just kind of moved to King's Heath, like they're smashing it, found their feet, and you're thinking, oh wow, like, yeah, we could be able to enjoy this for years to come. But yeah, kind of, I think something has to change at some point. I just
yeah, there's going to be just mass closures if they don't change.
Yeah,
something's got to happen.
The trouble is, the knock on the economy is going to be staggering, because the hospitality industry, like, so many jobs are reliant on the hospitality industry, so many people's wages and things like that. Like,
the amount of tax they'll lose out on.
Exactly. And like, yeah, the knock-on effect will be like unbelievably staggering, and it's really scary. And like, I really kind of, my heart goes out to all these businesses and things, and just everyone at the moment, to be honest. Like, it is a really kind of tough time. But yeah, I mean, stick together. That's all we can do. Like, support where we can, and if you're able, get out there and kind of support your favorite independents and spread kindness, spread love, because at the moment, kind of people need kindness, don't they? Because what else is there right now?
Yeah, that's it.
It's free, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can give that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And like, supporting online, if you don't have money to go out, you can support online. You can share businesses. You can encourage your friends to go there. You can leave comments and like posts and kind of help boost their engagement and things, so they can reach more people. There are free ways that you can support businesses if you currently don't have the money to go out there and support locals. So yeah, don't kind of despair if at the moment you don't have, the kind of income to go out, because you're thinking, I've got to pay my rent and I've got to pay my bills and I've got to pay food and things like that. Because there are free ways you can support local, and then, those who can, get out there and help as much as you can.
And there will be some people listening, and not many, because we're always independent. We've just naturally fell into the independent route. We just resonated with them more, the people who ran them. There will be some people who are like, yeah, but what about Wetherspoons? They've got like 700 pubs. They've got to try and hit. I'm not sure how true this is, or if I've just read it, but I'm sure I read that M&B were going straight to the energy, to deal direct. So they weren't going for an energy supplier. So they were getting like wholesale prices as opposed to like, I can't even think of an energy company. I can only think of Octopus. Oh, yeah. Octopus happens to be one of the good ones, but instead of having to go through like a third party, they can go direct, because they're so big.
Yeah.
And they're going to need so much gas and so much electric that they can go and get wholesale prices. Whereas like Rory and Farah can't do that. And a lot of the independents can't do that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But don't get me wrong, I do care about all hospitality businesses, but
definitely. And like, that's the thing, is people's jobs and livelihoods and things like that. Like, yes, Independent Birmingham is trying to encourage people to get out and support independence and stuff, because it supports the local economy and the people living here and the people who make the city interesting and unique, and these are the businesses that are the lifeblood of the city. But yeah, sure, like the chains employ people and kind of lets people live in their houses and pay the bills and things like that. So yeah, it's not just it's kind of not been like they're the devil, but like it's more just kind of encouraging people to discover and support local and things like that. Yeah, I don't want to kind of
no, I just know there'll be some people sitting there now listening and going, oh, we have a web at M&B. They've got thousands of pubs. They need to hit them. But you got to appreciate it's harder for independents.
Definitely.
Got the option of going and buying wholesale.
Yeah.
And another great way to support independents. So it didn't sound so much of a cheesy segue in my head, but it's coming across this way. But obviously, signing up to Independent Birmingham is a great way to support a variety of independents for only, how much is it? I can't remember.
$1.99 a month.
$1.99 a month.
Yeah, so that's it. And like for that $1.99 a month, you get access to discounts and deals like up to 25% off, 2-for-1s, like freebies like free pina coladas, free coffees, like free soft serve ice cream at Trentina, stuff like that, at over 170 of the very best independents across Birmingham and Solihull, all for just $1.99 a month. And yeah, it's just a perfect way to kind of discover and support independence. You kind of save a little along the way, which is great, but then kind of means you can go out and support more independence with the savings you make and things.
But also it enables you to go and support more independence.
That's exactly what it is. The membership allows Independent Birmingham to exist, and it allows us to kind of shine a light on these businesses, build our platforms, like make the app even better, get these businesses out on like our social media pages, our newsletter, and kind of champion as many of them as possible, and kind of uplift the city and uplift as many kind of indie businesses as possible. So we're a vital platform for independence, and we work really hard at it, and we have like a very large reach and things like that, and it kind of supports us in that process. So it's not only enabling you to go out and discover amazing independence and save some money on the way and kind of have fun and things, but it also supports this business, which subsequently supports independence. So it's all mutually beneficial, and it's and it's kind of great. And I'm really thankful for everyone who kind of has downloaded the app, and especially to everyone who's kind of paid for IB memberships over the years, whether that's IB card or currently with the Independent Birmingham app. Yeah, you're helping to keep this platform alive, and thank you to everyone who's bought festival tickets and has done over the years. Without you, Independent Birmingham wouldn't exist. So yeah, I'm really thankful for everyone who's kind of engaged with us online and who's kind of supported with the app and everything like that. And obviously all the independents who are on the app and the platform and things. It's really awesome.
Yeah, so if you're sitting at home hearing all these sad stories and thinking, how can I help? This is a really good way to help.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I bummed anyone out. I've sort of tried to be positive, but yeah.
We've only touched on it. I mean, we could sit here for hours and talk about it, but no one would listen. Apart from the diehards, probably just me listening to my own podcast all over and over. You kind of touched on the festival at the beginning, and you touched on it then. How did the festival come about?
Just basically wanting to kind of create a physical manifestation of Independent Birmingham.
Like a party. It feels like a party. Yeah, independent party.
Yeah,
it's like the event of the year as far as I'm concerned. Like it's one of the biggest things, and it's always so much fun.
Yeah.
We said our only complaint is there's probably too much.
Too much fun, or just too much on offer. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I just kind of was like, I was like, I love going to street food events, and I love food, I love drink and things, and kind of at the time there wasn't like a major festival where that was getting like restaurants who don't usually do street food to do street food, and that was the niche. That was going like, oh yeah, you can like try this restaurant, but you might not have tried this place or this place. We're going to get all of your favorite independents who don't usually do street food, and we're going to put them in an iconic location, and we're going to get some amazing cocktail bars, craft beer, wine, and like everything in between. And then kind of it's not just about food and drink. It's about, indie creatives and retailers, like artists, designers, makers, bakers. And we kind of get a bunch of the city's finest, and we kind of host a little artisan market as well. And Birmingham loves music, so we get a big old main stage, and we kind of get the legends that are Hare and Hounds, who are great. Just great people, by the way. And get them to curate a really awesome lineup for us. And the first one was really tough. Like, my background's not events at all. I mean, like, my background's none of this. It was law. That's what I did at uni. And then I was like, I don't want to be a lawyer. So I was like, I don't want to work long hours or weekends. And now I work long hours and weekends. So it was a really steep learning curve. I was kind of like, holy shit. But it was really great. And we had such a great turnout for the first one. Then we just kind of made them bigger and better. And then we kind of looked for a bigger venue, and Aston Hall was just perfect. So iconic. It's a Jacobean manor. It's grade 1 listed, and it's just beautiful. And there's like different areas and things like that. And we've got 18 of the very best restaurants doing pop-ups there, from Adams, Smoke, Eat Vietnam, Bonehead, Chicana, like Milk Cake Man doing their epic soft serve. We've got Paws, obviously, Far and Rory there, just so many places. And then we've got 9 bars, so 3 craft beer breweries, 3 cocktail bars, and 2 wine bars, plus 1 coffee bar. That is 9, isn't it? Yeah, sure. We'll move on. And then
no one check.
No one check my maths. And then 14 kind of artisan market stalls, and just they're just like really like, they're just lovely events. It's just great seeing people gather together and having a really nice time and just enjoying amazing food and drink. And like my favorite part of all of it is not setup. It's brutal. It's horrible. Is when I hear people or see people like comment online saying, I hadn't tried this place before, but I love them. I'm going to go and be a regular now. And then they go and they, you know, it becomes one of their regulars and things. And that's what it's all about. It's about kind of bringing so many fantastic independents together, not only just having a really fun party and celebration of Birmingham's independent scene, but we do so much social media around it. And the independents love that as well. Like I kind of feel like part of the reason they want to like join in is because we blast it out online so much, and so many people are like, oh, I've not been to this place, but now I'm going to go back and introduce their friends and family to them and things. And yeah, it's just great seeing like these restaurants who don't usually do street food to kind of create really cool dishes and things like that. And
yeah, that's the aspect I never really thought of so much. As if you haven't tried Adams, now you can try it at a very reasonable rate at a festival and see what you think.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And we try to like, you know, kind of gather independents from across the suburbs and the city centre and things like that, and just created like just the very best lineups we can. Obviously we're limited on space, so we can only have so many places. I mean, we've got like 27 traders, so that's a lot, but like they are lovely events, and we only do one a year because they take a lot of effort and planning and things like that. But yeah, we always get a really, really amazing turnout, and it's just like a really nice crowd, and people just go there and just eat lots of food and drink lots of amazing drinks and just dance to live music and stuff. And yeah, the market traders all kind of do really well there, which is really nice as well, because a lot of them like, you know, kind of go from market to market and things like that, and that's how they kind of, one of the ways they get their kind of products out to people and things, as well as online. So it's nice to support that aspect as well. And yeah, we just try and make them as inclusive and kind of fun as possible. Yeah, kind of ticket entry as reasonable as possible and things. We haven't increased that despite the fact that everything's increased so horrifically and dramatically over this last year, because we just want to get as many people down there as possible. And you know, they're expensive to put on, and they're really tough and things, and that's kind of why we're going to do one a year. But yeah, they're just really fun, and the independents love being involved and things. And yeah, I just see it as like this physical manifestation of the brand, and I just love gathering them all together, and it's just like, it is wholesome and it is cool. So if you haven't been before there, well, actually this is going up after the festival, so
is it on? Yeah, not a chance.
You all had a great time. it was yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, happy New Year.
Well, it's good for kids. I've took my daughter last time, and she had a great day. And
yeah,
family friendly.
As a family this time.
Family friendly. That's the thing. We want to kind of make them as inclusive as possible, and you know, bring your loved one, bring your family, bring your kids. Like just whatever. Like that's it. Like yeah, it is just like family friendly, good, clean fun.
Yeah. Well, there's that many good traders there as well, food and drink, that you don't really have to wait too long, because this is a beef I have with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
When there's only a few things, often the queue can be ages.
Yeah. The trouble is like much. Yeah. What the thing is, it's such a fine line, because as an event organizer, you have to please the people who book on to your events, because you want them to want to come back, and you want them to do well, because they're taking the time out their business and they're buying stock and this and that. So you want them to do well, but then you also have to think about the event as a whole and the brand as a whole, and you want the audience to have the best time, because they're the ones who are buying tickets, and they're the ones who, without them, the event wouldn't happen, because the ticket price covers the cost of building the event and things, and hiring staff to run stuff and building stages and things like that. So like, you need to make it as awesome as possible for the audience. So you kind of have to make sure there are enough options there to minimize queues, because yeah, I really hate seeing the queues, because I don't want people to have that as like their main experience of going to the event. So I try and book as many traders as possible to mitigate that, but also it's like traverse that fine line where you have to make sure that it's viable for them and they do well from the event, so that they want to come back, and it rewards them for booking onto the event, but also making sure that the customer and the attendees are rewarded, and you know, they have the best time possible. So I think I've nailed that as much as you can do. Like there are always queues, of course, especially when you're making stuff fresh to order and things. But yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, if you go to a lot of different street food events or events across the Midlands of country, yeah, they're much bigger queues and more shambolic affairs. Not to kind of badmouth anyone. Apologies,
I
anyone.
don't mind. The queue kind of gives you a chance to chat to the people making the food. I like that.
Exactly.
No, I just mean the bar queue more than anything else.
Yeah, I knew you meant the bar queue.
But that's good. You've got the wine, you've got the cocktails. That
Yeah.
filters out a lot of it straight away.
Yeah, we try and get as many like bars as possible to mitigate queues because you know everyone's mega thirsty. So like, you know, we want to split the queues and we have them in different areas and things like that, because that's another thing as well. Just it's kind of hard to like dictate where queues go and like customer psychology and things, but we try to like split bars between the 3 different areas to kind of make sure that there is an effective flow across the whole event and things like that, and there are not too many queues across like certain like thoroughfares and stuff like that. So, and that is why we have like such a large kind of food and drink offering, to kind of not only give you options, but yeah, to kind of mitigate just having to wait absolutely ages in queues and stuff.
I said the lineup's crazy. Like, I could literally just put all the names on a dartboard, throw the darts on what I want to eat, and I'd guarantee I'd find there'd be all good options.
Yeah, it is the best.
Crazy.
It is the best one we've had, and yeah, it's just really great. It's just kind of really lovely to get them all together, and yeah, I'm gonna eat so much. So
Something you're going to carry on doing every year, or
yeah, I
maybe.
mean, like,
ask you after?
yeah, definitely ask me after. Like, I would like to. I don't know whether doing them every other year might be more sustainable for me. Like, but the thing is that they're popular, and like I get asked all the time, like the independents, like well before we're anywhere close to like announcing, they're like, you're doing a festival, like can we join you? You better have me on that, like, and things like that. So like they are popular, and as long as they keep being popular, like, you know, I want to deliver them because they're great for the brand as well. It's a great showcase of independent Birmingham and things like that. So I like that from that perspective. So as long as people keep turning up, then yeah, I'm gonna try and.
It definitely feels like a who's who of Birmingham when you're there and you look at the lineup.
Yeah, it is a decent lineup. Like I've really tried to kind of just get as many of like the kind of very best, and like just places as well that don't usually do street food, but also like just offering a really broad range of cuisines and things. That was kind of important to me. Like obviously it's such like a kind of diverse and multicultural city, so I wanted the kind of food offering to reflect that. So we kind of, you know, you can eat around the world without leaving the event. So yeah, so it should be really good. And if you're listening after the event, I hope you had a really nice time.
Usually finish with Carl just kind of.
Few little questions.
Nice way to finish the
light-hearted,
podcast.
Super easy.
Nice.
He says.
Yeah, some people really struggle with these. What's your favourite TV show?
I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is pretty up there.
That comes up a lot.
Rewatching How I Met Your Mother. It depends what you like. TV series like True Detective season 1 is
that was
the greatest of all time, but they wrecked it with 2 and 3.
I had the reviews and didn't even watch 2 and 3.
Stranger Things is
What was
epic.
2? Was 2 Colin Farrell?
Yeah, and Vince Vaughn and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just wasn't
I quite
as good.
like that, but it wasn't as good as the first.
No,
the first time you see that the dude with the mask and that, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
The first season of True Detective's epic.
Amazing.
But so that's like the longer series, and then the shorter one, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and How I Met Your Mother are always fun watches.
Yeah. What's your favourite movie?
Do I have a favourite film? I mean, I love Batman. Like, I mean, but I like the new one with Pattinson. I mean, everyone like kind of says the Dark Knight's the best one, but
you see, I'm with you. I don't think it's the best one.
Yeah, I think people think that because Heath Ledger gave such an outstanding performance, but I actually preferred Batman Begins to The Dark Knight. So, you know, just roast me online and troll me or whatever. But yeah, I like the Batman. I thought it was great. Cinematography is incredible.
Oh, it's a fantastic
it's
movie,
just such an amazing film. Heat's great. There's loads. Like I just got like 600 DVDs at home. Like I just always about it. We're rewatching all the Avengers films and stuff. They're cool. But yeah, I'll go The Prestige. Great film.
I haven't seen that one yet. It's on the list. You've seen it, haven't you? No. Oh, no.
Yeah, I love The Prestige. That's a great film. We'll go with one of those options.
That'll do.
Yeah.
What's your favourite band?
It fluctuates. I love Alice in Chains. Love Killswitch Engage. But I love Spencer Burton and I love City and Colour. You can't go wrong with Metallica and Nirvana. But I've got like a really broad spectrum of bands that I like. Like half the time I listen to metal, and then I love some Taylor Swift and stuff.
Who doesn't love Taylor Swift? If
I
you don't
know,
love
yeah.
Taylor Swift, there's definitely something wrong with
Yeah, like she's incredible, mega talented. But Alice in Chains are up there. They're pretty epic. Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
But this is for both of them. I'm always fascinated by people whose favourite band they can't make any new music.
Yeah.
So you're still your favourite band based on all of their old stuff.
Yeah, well that's it. Like Nirvana and like Smashing Pumpkins, they were great. I don't know whether they're making new stuff now, but like the era that I like is just just kind of that's gone, been and gone, and things. Sometimes you just got to listen to some Killswitch Engage or something. But Linkin Park Hybrid Theory was awesome. I saw my download years ago, and they played it first track to last track, and that
you were
was
probably in the same field as us.
We were there.
Yeah, it was insane. I got people were just crushing me. It's like someone's coming at me looking like they were going to be sick on me, and I was like, trying to like get away from them. But
that was definitely us.
Just all that kind of stuff.
Was that the year? Was that the festivals are a bit of a mush for me?
Yeah.
Was it with Korn playing and Jonathan Davis was sick? Was that year, or was it Metallica were playing and Lars
was ill, wasn't he?
Lars was ill.
So
Joey
from
played.
Slipknot and Ski-Man from Slayer stood in as
all
well.
of the downloads have just
2016,
merged.
yeah.
For me.
I can't remember. It was 2014, 16. Not that, or like who knows?
Who's gonna remember?
They've just merged. Downloads have merged.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Maybe that didn't even happen. Maybe I'm just imagining it.
Yeah. Phoebe Bridgers also.
Yeah,
she's great. So yeah, just lots of stuff, and it's like I keep like kind of going back, or like I look on my old school like real piece of shit iPods, and like one of the really old crap ones, and be like, cool music I haven't listened to in like 10 years, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still into this, like, and things.
Doesn't die, does it?
Doesn't, yeah.
This might be a controversy. You don't have to answer it. What's your favourite big fast food chain?
I don't eat like big fast food stuff, to be honest. Like, I don't go to any of them. It sounds like it genuinely sounds made up.
Mr. Independent,
It
of
genuinely
course.
sounds made up.
That's what I said,
But, like, I don't really think I've been to a chain in like 9 years. I basically think like as soon as I started, I was like, yeah, fuck that. I just haven't looked back. Like I don't do McDonald's or any of that. I'm just like, if I'm gonna get like fried chicken, I'm going to Bonehead.
Yeah.
You know, like just no, I don't do that. I like to cook at home quite a lot. So like,
that's good. What do you like to cook? What's your signature dish?
All kinds of shit. I've got a few. I do brisket and ox cheek, grilled cheese tacos.
Oh man.
You know, make my own tortillas and stuff like that. Barbecue char-siu pork's epic. Steak stuff. I like do kind of like steak on the barbecue, and then do like you do some really nice like rosemary and thyme and gruyere dauphinoise potatoes, and do like charred Hisby cabbage and chimichurri and stuff, and McMuffins, man. Make my own McMuffins. Don't need to go to McDonald's because I make my own little sausage patties.
Are you not tempted to set yourself up a stall at the festival?
I'm just not built that way. Like, full respect to the street food crew. Like, they are just insane grafters. Like, it is hard work. Like, the 18-hour days and stuff like is relentless. So, no, like, I like cooking for the people I love. And I like cooking as a bit of a hobby and to feed myself. But I don't think I'd enjoy having, like, a street food business or a restaurant, because, like, people think, oh yeah, like, oh, I'll do this, but like there's just so much behind doing it that's not just like cooking food and stuff. That's like the business element, and I like going out and, you know, trying awesome food and drink from other people. So
also, when was he supposed to do this? In all of his spare time?
yeah. No time for the side hustle. But no, like just no, I like supporting everyone else.
So last question. Outside of Birmingham, obviously, what's your favourite food destination in the world?
That's a tough one. Like, Florence is great. Food's really, really good. Jamaica's awesome. Well, we had a really nice night in Paris where we went for drinks at Little Red Door and then tacos at Candelaria, and that was one of my favourite evenings. But yeah, I don't know, like Florence maybe. Yeah.
It's a good answer.
Yeah, it is really awesome. Like, I mean, pizza, pasta, steaks, like just Grom gelato is the one. I could eat that every day. It looks obscene on your thing. It looks like a turd, but it tastes. It's literally like the poo emoji, but it tastes incredible. Like, yeah, just had quite a few there. So yeah, that's it. I love Italian food. So final answer, maybe.
Nice. I think that's everything.
Awesome, that's us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on.
Been massive fans of like everything you've done from like the beginning, man.
Yeah, that's really nice to
You
say.
should be really proud of everything you do.
Thanks. I don't really it's only when I come on this that I kind of have to think about what's happened over the last 9 years. I don't tend to kind of think about that because I'm just kind of day to day thinking about.
You're too busy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You are too busy.
Thinking about what's gonna happen next and trying to plan for the future and stuff. But yeah, thanks. It's been really lovely being on and chatting with you. Thanks.
Cheers, Jeff.